What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Battle for Azeroth video. My name is Michael Hogman, and today we're going to be talking about something I feel like is very, very important for the PvP community. Something that I've been waiting to talk about and kind of like fleshing out in my head and kind of figuring out exactly what it is that I want to say once I get on and actually talk about this specific topic. And that's going to be the PvP systems and moving forward into Battle for Azeroth. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had a video that was like a predictions of what we were going to see for Battle for Azeroth for PvP. I think all of them were pretty much not talked about in any way, but I do think that there was something within the system or within that video that I wanted to kind of expand on, and that's talking about like the arena ranking system. So real quick, guys, before you get into this video, I do want to let you guys know that I'm releasing a ton of Battle for Azeroth footage, so be sure to subscribe to my channel, join the community, and be a part of what we have going on here, and I will keep you up to date with all the Battle for Azeroth stuff and open those discussions up as much as possible. So I do a video a day, basically. But jumping into these topics, I feel like it's pretty well known throughout the community is that like the system and the ranking system, the rating system for arena and RBGs are just like very, very outdated. And I want to talk about this system and kind of explain what the problems are with it and why I feel like it should be replaced. And then I want to give my ideas about how it should be replaced, and hopefully something, maybe gets heard, right? Something, maybe a developer watches this video and sees it and takes a little bit of what I said, even if just a small amount, and implements it, because that's what my hopes are. This is entirely my wish list, I suppose, is the best word. So talking about this older, outdated rating system, it's something we've had since Burning Crusade back in 2007 or 2006. Arena was introduced then, and since then we've had this like number ranking system. Back then it used to start at 1500 rating, and then every single win you would fight people at your current, like your rating, and then every single win you would gain anywhere between like 15 and like 25 if you beat a team that was way higher than you that you queued into for some reason. And this system has developed since then. Like obviously back then we used to have teams, so you'd have to join a team roster, and then you'd have to play on their roster, and then after that you're able to like leave the team, join another team of a different rating or whatever. And then matchmaking rating was introduced, right? And that means that you can have a higher MMR, you can fight higher ranked teams even if you're at lower rating. Since then we've had this system that just has been revamped and redone so many different times. I feel like with this opportunity of having this PvP expansion, almost like this Horde versus Alliance expansion, we have a really awesome opportunity to dive into something that's really important, that's ranked play. With this current system, we've had these numbers, these rankings, these like 0 to 3,000 basically rating, and I feel like due to inflation and the fact that like the participations are different in different seasons, and the inflation is different at different points in different seasons, that like you could be 3.1k rated in say season 8, and like you could be 2.3k rated in season 20, right? And it's really, really unclear. I feel like that people don't really understand like what 3.1k, like 3.1k just means you're good, cool. But like if you were 2,500 in season 8, but that actually didn't mean anything in today's season because the inflation was so different that like 2.5k rated would be equivalent to 1,800 rated. Now like it just doesn't matter, and I feel like having that system entirely makes the system confusing, and not understandable from like people over a long amount of time, and also casual players that are, or new players that are getting into ranked PvP and trying to become better, trying to understand the system. I feel like with Legion specifically, the reward system has been getting better. They've been like allowing you to get illusions. They've been introducing the cloak, the gladiator's cloak, that you have to earn rating for. You've got the tabards, obviously, which has been in the game forever, where you can earn a certain rating and then buy a tabard. It's like a cosmetic reward which you can wear. And I feel like it's definitely getting better, especially with the prestige rewards and stuff for PvP. But I think that the rating system, if it were to be reworked, I think that there's a much better way to do that, and I'll get into that in just a moment. The last point I want to bring up, and the last problem I have about the outdated rating system, is the fact that like when you get to the end of the season, it's extremely unclear whether or not you're going to get your reward that you've worked for. Like you want to get gladiator, right? Like you want to get duelist, or you want to get challenger, whatever it is that your goal is. If you get to the end of the season and you don't get that, but you feel like you should have got that, and you sat your rating because you expected to get that, you felt like you were safe, and you end up logging on and you don't get it, it's like a really, really disheartening feeling, and it makes people very unmotivated to push for that again. So that's why I feel like that is like the main reason why I feel like the system needs to be reworked. I appreciate Blizzard putting the time into kind of lifting the veil on those end of season ratings and like posting the cutoffs and stuff like that when they can, but I do feel like it absolutely does need to be reworked in a much more clear cut way. So this brings in my new ranking system. This is something that I feel like makes a lot of sense, and it's something that I've modeled off of actually how Overwatch works. So I'm just going to walk you through it. Okay, so this new system is based on actually tiers, similar to how Overwatch works and how ranked Overwatch works. If you guys aren't familiar with Overwatch, basically in the rank system, it goes from bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, grandmaster, and then top 500. So what I think for World of Warcraft, it would make a lot of sense if you did bronze, silver, gold, maybe even throw a platinum in there, and then after that, it's gladiator, and then after that, it's top 100. Okay, I think that it's extremely important for those tiers to be in the game, because you can actually constantly, like, you have to maintain that rating. It will decay over time. That's a rule that I think should be in the game, is that like if you don't play for a week or two, your rating decays until like 2K rated. It just decays 100 rating every week you don't play, or something like that, and it goes all the way down to 2,000 rated if you're above 2,000. Anything under 2,000 doesn't decay. And you play up, you try to get that gold rating, you try to get to that gladiator ranking. And what's really, really cool about this is that I think a reward for having that displayed, like if you work to get you're rank 1 on the ladder, I think it's really important that your character immediately shows that. Whether I think that like the easiest way to do it is if you had like a character portrait that was kind of a different color or something, or had some kind of effect to it whenever you are actually in that specific ranking in the PvP system. And since they have the PvE and PvP servers merging, when you have toggle on PvP, similar to how when you toggle on PvP in the world, your prestige rankings will show, right? Like your prestige icon will show next to your portrait. I think it would be really cool if on top of that, you also had some kind of effect on your border, or some kind of an extra icon. You could show what your ranked PvP 3 versus 3 or whatever level is. And that would be really cool, because you were able to work for something during the season and instantly get a reward for that, and instantly have a social status within the game that is showing that you're a better player. Not only will you resonate with other good players because of that, or other players of your skill level, because you have that same skill level, that same visual, tangible thing. I think it just makes a lot of sense for increasing participation and rewarding people along the way, as opposed to just rewarding the players who play in the last 2 weeks of the season, because their rating goes up, and obviously they get their reward at the end of the season, not during the season. So that's just one particular thing I think is really, really important, and like having that color, that rank display while you're in PvP mode could be really cool. And here's where I think it starts to get a little bit more specific. I think at the end of the season, I really, really love the interaction and seeing people so happy whenever they log onto their characters and they get their gladiator mount, or they get the title they want, the rank 1 title, or they get their duelist title that they've always wanted, or whatever. I think that it's really cool. I think that feeling is very fun, and I feel like it's definitely replicable. Like, you could definitely do better there. One thing that I feel Overwatch does very, very well is the fact that they have a currency that you only get at the end of the season based on your rank, and that currency allows you to purchase really cool cosmetic items throughout the entirety. Like, they're permanent, they're evergreen, they're always there, and I think that's really cool. So what would be, in my mind, the best way to do it is if you also had that special end of season gladiator currency that every single rank accumulates. Whether you're bronze, silver, gold, gladiator, top 100, whatever, you get a certain amount based on your ranking. It goes up as you get to the next tier. Like, you get more as a gold player than you would a silver player. Gives you that incentive to work. And then also each tier actually has a cosmetic reward. Maybe bronze and silver doesn't have obviously the most prominent reward, like a pet or something like that, like a little battle pet you can get. But I think it would be really cool if like gold players got a tabard. Like maybe just take that gladiator's tabard that you would normally get, but put it into like the gold ranking, and then silver got the cloak, gladiator obviously got the mount, platinum got the cloak, or even silver got the cloak, whatever. And then obviously, like, if you were top 100, you would get that rank 1 title. You get that current season title, so dominant gladiator, and you would keep that permanently because you're a top 100 player and you've earned it. And I think that that's really cool because it incentivizes players to push up the rankings. And as you push up the rankings every single time a season ends, especially since they're ending faster now, it actually gives you more rewards for putting the time in and getting your rating up. I think that's cool. It's kind of like a big care package at the end of a season that like rewards you for all your work that you've done over the season, gives you that special currency in order to buy like a new cosmetic item. Maybe that's like a challenge mode PvP staff. That you can actually buy for like gladiator tokens that you've been accumulating for 3 seasons, and then you finally get that transmog staff and you get to show it off. It's similar to how the golden weapons work in Overwatch, and I think that would be very, very cool to see if there was like a golden High Warlord staff or something along those lines. I think having that gives a few things. Basically, it gives you a really cool feeling whenever you work for the gold, like the gold tier, for example, like you finally get your tabard, or you get that season's tabard, and no one else can get that because you earned gold. That's your cosmetic reward that you keep forever. It gives players at the top 100 a huge care package that makes them feel like they really did work for all that stuff that they have now gotten for their character, and it makes them feel rewarded because it is an abundance of stuff, and it's like prominent to be top 100 and you get a top 100 title. And further than that, like it gives people longevity through PvP, because PvP is something in World of Warcraft where people will participate in the first few seasons and it'll be really, really awesome. Everyone will be playing, and then later on throughout the expansion, people will start to give up. People will start to quit because the titles just feel redundant. Like it's just not enough. Like it's not different enough. Like you can get 2,400 in 2 days and then quit for the rest of the season. So if people had something to work for over time with that special currency in order to unlock all of the different, like Battle for Azeroth, gladiator weapons that you could only buy if you saved up enough points in order to buy one, and then there's 10 more or 9 more or something, 5 more, whatever. I think that gives it longevity. That gives you something to work for and stay in PvP for the entirety of the season, as opposed to the first 2 days and then not care about the gladiator mount or not care about the title. Like I just think that people need something to work for over time. People need something that's going to keep them engaged, going to keep their social status up, and make them feel good about being a good PvPer, as opposed to just wasting their time PvPing for the entire season and then like maybe getting gladiator, maybe getting rank 1, but they're not sure because the cutoffs aren't posted because the system's out of date. Like there's so much to be done here, and I really, really hope that Blizzard does do the PvP ranking system justice, because I think that they did the honor system justice. I think the prestige stuff was very well implemented. I think that people have stuff to work for in unranked combat and unranked PvP, so why not take the time to make that the same feeling in PvP? Why not make people rewarded for wanting to do ranked PvP and make that a consistent thing that happens over the entire expansion, as opposed to just a few weeks out of the expansion? That's just my point of view, guys. I know that this is a long video of me talking, and it's just something that I'm really passionate about, because I want WoW PvP. I want WoW ranked PvP to be good. Like I want people to want to be a part of that. I want new players to come up through the ladder and show everyone else that's already at the top like what's up. Like I want that to happen. I want new players to be on the scene. I want this system to be fun, and I want people to be in it. So this is my way of voicing my feedback and what I feel like would be cool in the game and what would keep people interested in playing WoW PvP. But it obviously is just speculation. It's just all ideas. So it doesn't really mean anything if the Blizzard devs don't like hear it or care about it, But I definitely hope that something is done for ranked PvP. I think that it needs to happen. It's not just like a small thing. It's something that directly, I feel like the current system and the current ranking and rating system really does take a huge toll on how many people play PvP. So, just my opinion, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, show the video some support, leave a comment down below with your thoughts. Do you like my ideas? Do you not? Do you have your own ideas? Do you want to share them? Like, let me know down in the comments. I really just want to hear how everything is going. You could also just tell me how my or how your day is going too. I don't care. Like, I just want to read it. I just want to interact with you guys and have conversations. I'm going to be doing a Hogman's weekly reset next week, Tuesday, to talk about some stuff that's going on with the channel. So be sure to tune into that. And you can also subscribe to my channel and be a part of the community that we have here. Keep you up to date with Battle for Azeroth stuff. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.